Welcome to episode 496 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn.
How we going, fellas?
Brilliant.
Pumped.
Coming to the
Pumped
end.
for grand final. Well, greatest week of the year.
Oh, this is already unbearable.
I'll tell you what, like, I mean, it is funny. It is funny though, and Glennie, you'll feel it is funny, like how the dichotomy of grand final week, where it could be, where it's like some people's, particularly like Parramatta fans, like it's like the best fucking week and most exciting week, in some cases of their lives.
In most cases. Like, really,
and,
you got the the Dan Burtons and the Andrew Bakers of the world. Like, fuck
yeah, I mean, they were there last time they won. I mean,
void of anything.
They could legally drink last time they won, but and then yet for me, and I'm guessing you as well. Like, I just it's less than a regular week.
Look, I'll tell you, I didn't know what to do with myself this week because, you know, you just...
It's the usual chronic masturbation wasn't working?
Look, apart from that, I don't have to think about that. It just happens. But you get so used to your team making finals and grand finals and, you know, this one year...
Is this like who are you talking about? This is a hypothetical person. It's not personal experience for you any stage of your life.
Have we got Glennie from a different timeline? Welcome to This Week in Multiverses.
Fucking the multi...
Oh, fucking hell. Yes. I must admit,
Bring us back 616 Glennie, please. This Glennie that knows what finals feels like is not to my taste.
I was keeping track of the score Saturday night, and so I was at presentation night, obviously, as I said, and keeping track of the score, and I was like, fuck. My first thought was this cunt's going to be fucking unbearable again, and so it is. But since then, I have not fucking paid any attention to footy or any of the fucking peripheral stories or feel-good snippets or nothing.
Because there's nothing to feel good about. Like, Penrith are just a consummate team of professionals, and Parramatta are an unlikable bunch of cunts that no one wants to read about.
Yeah.
Like, their own fans are out there trying to get everyone that can listen to be like, oh, no, fucking Gutho's good. No, fucking, you gotta love Gutho. And, like, you can sell almost anything to a fan of football in grand final week, but no one can sell the Eels as a likeable team. Like, there are people who jump on a Storm bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this grand final, the one that it reminds me of the most is 2012.
Storm Canterbury, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember that grand final. I had no fucking intention of even watching that game. Like, that's how uninterested I was in the whole thing. And of course I ended up doing it because, you know, you gotta. But and surprisingly, I felt myself actually wanting the Storm to win that game too.
Yeah.
Such as because that was just like right in the white hot fucking, you know, right after Desi left, that sort of thing.
Look, I feel a little bit dirty being in a situation where, you know, the other party involved makes Jay the most likable participant, like out of all the fans, and like that's no one wants that.
That is it is tough. I mean, like literally the only positive factor for this entire grand final is that, like, you know, one of our friends has the opportunity to, you know, feel joy.
Who's that?
Fucking Jay, you dumb cunt.
Fucking hell,
I mean, he's like right here, man.
Sorry, you used the term one of our friends. I wasn't sure who you were talking about.
But
Jesus.
I mean, and then there's other friends of ours that I think, well, you know, like
some well-travelled mentor to teach you about kindness.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, put down your Jay Shetty and start listening to some fucking nuggets from Jay Shitty.
Jay Schnitty.
Because he's giving you pearls right now. I mean, so many you can have a pearl necklace by the end of it.
I love it. Not for the first time, if I'm honest. I've been to my
this
share of
weekend,
meetups.
are you going to break? Are you going to break the bad news? We got some good news and bad news about the weekend. You want to start with the bad news?
No, look, I'll just keep it as I've had unfortunately to pull the pin on grand final weekend, on coming down for grand final weekend. Like I'm not going to toast a bath at Friday night.
I was going to say, like, grand final's been cancelled. Jay said so. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, we get it, but fucking hell, it's a bit rough. We'll have to live with it.
Have another week.
We'll have to live with it.
Yeah, there are some potential health issues in the family that just means I can't be interstate and away from family this weekend, which, family comes first. We all know that. But it burns me up because I was so looking forward to getting down after 2 years locked out to share some bevies with everybody. But I will be there in spirit. Glennie has promised me that he will go Glennie 400 now to make up for the loss of me.
This is all a ruse, if I'm honest, and it's exactly right up your alley. This whole thing that, that you've convinced anyone that you have family, we're yet to see any real evidence. I've seen a cardboard cutout floating about in the background on the Skype call every once in a while, and that just keeps, they're cool. That might fool some people. No one's living with you, man. No one's living with you. Let's be honest. We can barely stand a fucking couple of hours a week with you over a Skype call. No one's fucking living in the same house as you. It's got to be unbearable.
Oh. Well, the only thing that I would add is, like I said, we had good news and bad news, and I thought you'd leave with the bad news, not the good news.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. All this talk of J100 it fucking scared him. Scared this motherfucker.
J100. He's dead. He died years ago.
He's
like legitimately. He died during COVID, before COVID. People just didn't meet him because of COVID. But, they would have met him 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever.
He's Logan. He's dead and should never be brought back. So, but. I know that the boys will have you in very good hands. I can't wait to see the photos and video posts and see all the fun that everybody's having. The members' dinner the night before, that was one I was looking forward to immensely, especially because there's been so many new additions to the inner circle while we've been in lockdown. I was really looking forward to getting in, and there are some familiar faces that I would only see every year at meetups. And guys like Aussie Jag, Aaron Ma, that have been there since well before my stint at hosting.
Yep.
Who have just always been great to catch up with. So, I won't be there. I'll be there in spirit, and it will probably make the day just less obnoxious overall. I'm going to have to.
Will it really though?
It also means that the KPI that we were going to try and work to, which would be to have 66.67% of the hosts turning up to the functions on time. Now we're going to raise that to 100%. I think we can do it.
I've got no reason to be late anymore. J100 was the late one.
Yeah, that's true. J100,
fucking navigating.
I'm just not going to say anything else.
Navigating that terrible Sydney train system. You didn't know which fucking line to hop on.
Yeah, exactly. You just hopped on all of them.
Just get in a cab and fall asleep, and they take you where you want to go. Fucking hell, what's wrong with you cunts?
Yeah. Get someone in a Tesla doing a test drive to get you.
Oh, you need to get. I'll tell you, how would you fucking spew up on the fucking giant iPad on that thing? I'll never know. Where were we?
So what's the bad news?
I've done that joke already.
No, but you said there was. Okay, so what's the good news then?
No, there isn't. That was the whole joke. Jay was going to break the news that he wasn't going to come, and then I was like, okay, so that's the good news. What's the bad news?
Jesus fucking Christ!
Like, fuck me.
You had me all excited.
You, Glennie.
You had me all excited.
I love.
Jesus, fuck! It's like doing a podcast.
I was like, fuck yeah! Now Nate's not coming. This is going to be cool.
Can we get? Can we get Google Translate to add fucking Toowoomba to the list so then he can just run his feed through it and save his questions. Now, look, news stories. As you said, Glennie, there's a lot of they're individual player focused, family, what it means, doing blah blah blah.
Far too much Mitchell Moses for my liking.
Well, okay. You want to talk about the compare and contrast between Mitchell Moses, who missed the birth of his child to play the game on Friday night to get the Eels into the grand final. That's example one, and then example two, where Brian To'o was facing a situation where his partner or wife was going to give birth. Oh, was it Luai or To'o? Sorry, Luai. Sorry, my mistake, Luai. Yeah, and equally as poor fucking pre-planning as Mitchell Moses in terms of when he planted the seed, but had the baby induced so that it'd be out in the world prior to the grand final, no chance of missing the game. Fuck
yeah. Good half controls the game.
I tell you what, these fucking
game managed that thing out.
these Penrith players though, fucking dominating fucking what women are doing with their bodies vis-a-vis pregnancy. This is getting out of fucking control.
Wow.
He just pops up with a fucking cardboard cutout of Bryce's face. Scared the thing out.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Glennie?
Oh, love it.
You knew or something?
No, I am not.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're the fucking you're the multiverse Glennie.
Wholesome content Glennie, remember?
Yeah, this time of year,
it's
I always
real Dairy Queen.
Think back, and I'm so grateful that we kept Teddy and let Luke Brooks go.
Well, no, it'd be like we'd be doing the like the sixth run of the Run TMB shirt, all still be together.
Yeah.
And
it'd be so good.
And there'd be like Premiership edition ones.
And just when they all thought we were going to start declining, Ivan came over and he brought Nathan with him. And
look, the Tigers would be like, Mitch Moses would still be there, and the Tigers would be like, mate, just have the game off, mate. We'll be right without ya. We've won the last 6 comps in a row. We're fine without ya.
Nathan Cleary would be playing the role of Luke
Brooks,
like Simpkin. No. He'd be like Simpkin and fucking. He'd just be floating around. Sometimes he'd be hooker. Sometimes he'd be hooker from the bench. Sometimes he'd be out of the fucking squad.
And there's that weird Pascoe guy that works at Penrith that we see sometimes, and we all shiver and we don't know why.
Keeps wanting to give us fucking show bags. Why is that?
I think in your world, he's actually fucking rich, and he's like a purveyor of show bags to half of the stores at the fucking Royal Easter Show.
Love it.
They call me Bertie Pascoe.
Doesn't anyone know a fucking anyone know a good exterminator or someone that might have gone into extermination fucking just recently? Get rid of the fucking Pascoe bug.
Do you reckon they could do that? Could Benny show up in Pascoe's office and be like, some bloke in Toowoomba's paid me $50 to come and spray you and start going here?
Yeah. Also, Nathan, you narrowly avoided another phone call voicing my disgust at another fucking very offensive social media fucking comment. Also, I gave you one on the weekend.
What do I do now?
Commenting that one of our beloved Giraffio, who's gone into fucking business, and asking,
friend of ours has gone into pest control,
asking if you would travel to Toowoomba because there's a massive pest you need to get rid of ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh, that got another fucking Nate giggle. Oh, she broke it. Just read it out to her over the fucking breakfast table. Oh, lost it. Lost it.
Look, let's be honest. Most of the people we know bless that one with a ha. Anyway, back to let's get to the topic at hand. news stories, as we're saying, very, very sort of special interest. The Dally M's are on as we're recording, so we can't really go into that too much because we don't really know. I mean, I can say at the moment, as of this minute, as we're recording, I think Nico's a point ahead of Hunt, but on it goes.
Todd Payton, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and look, that's fair.
That's fair.
I think. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it would have been him or Fitzy probably, right? Like,
quality pass from the Tigers. No thanks, Todd. Services not required.
But a story came out like right before the Dally M started. The potential and favourite to win this year, Ben Hunt, rejected the Dragons' latest offer like an hour before the Dally M's.
Oh
wow! And so
I'll get back to you in a couple of hours, guys.
Yeah, pretty smart though. I mean, like obviously the price tag can take a certain bump after winning the Dally M, but yeah. So they made him the offer. They had some clauses in he didn't like. They took those out. They upped the offer, and he's rejected that. So they're not sure what the issue is at the moment. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, if he wins a Dally M, then whether that attracts more buyers or whether.
Did they say what the clauses were?
No, I do not believe so. Not that I've seen, but that's
I wonder what they could have in there that would be so objectionable to him.
Well, I think there was a clause saying that everyone in the team other than Ben Hunt had to be a cunt, and I think Ben rejected that. And they said, well, okay, what about our entire fan base? If they're all cunts, but we actually get some likeable players, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, there was an AFL story where some player down there has rejected a deal from his current club because I assume he's been a bit of a problem child.
Yes, I can't remember.
They put behavioural clauses in there.
Yeah.
So he's rejected the offer based on that. I can't think of anything that the Dragon... Like, what position are the Dragons in to demand anything of Ben Hunt that he would find objectionable? That's fucking weird.
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's some clauses related to, like the overall how the team goes and things like that, maybe. But I mean, those they're clauses for coaches, not players.
Yeah, that's it.
So because it's a team sport, and not only that, rugby league teams are very fucking large. In fact, and there's only so much one guy can do.
Well,
as we've seen.
I'll tell you what, if there are things that one guy can do, Ben Hunt did them this season for the Dragons.
Yes.
Fucking hell! What more do they want from the guy? Anyway.
Now, look, I want to bring up one story, and this is it's all speculation at the moment, but it just tickled me when I saw it though. Now, the West Tigers, of course, heavily pursuing Cameron Munster. It's no secret. It's been something we've spoken about, and it's something that's sort of been going on the last couple of weeks. Now, they're trying to extend Dane Laurie as well. And the roadblock there is, the club's interested in Cam Munster. And the Daily Telegraph, which I'm not going to hold up as fucking accurate or anything, other than just creating a scenario in their mind that make me laugh, Dane Laurie is holding out signing a new deal unless the Tigers offer him a 2-year deal. They're firm on a 1-year extension at the moment. And as for why the Tigers are so insistent on a 1-year deal, it has been reported that it could be connected to their interest in Munster as a possible solution at fullback.
Oh, fuck.
And so
hang on. We have the Queensland and Australian incumbent 6.
Yeah.
Sheensy.
Who being real, I mean, is a very good fullback still in his own right. I mean, he is.
Is a very good fullback in his own right. But Melbourne were a worse team with him at fullback.
And not only that, the Tigers. Well, this is the problem. It's a buffet of choices for him in the Tigers because they don't have anyone good in any of the positions.
This is what I'm saying. Like
Sheensy will play him at prop.
So let's say you get no one else but Munster.
Yep.
Where do you play him?
6.
I think there's a. I mean,
who's
the obvious answer is 6.
6? Who's your 6 currently, Glenn?
Dewey.
Exactly. So is this another case of that fucking cunt doing the whole, if I don't get to play 6, I'm not playing?
Okay, see ya.
You know, Jesus.
With all due
Christ.
respect, I'm a Dewey fan, but if you gave me a choice between Adam Dewey and Cam Munster to play 6 for the Tigers, and Cam Munster was an actual possibility, which I still don't think he is. Yeah.
Man,
I'm not taking Dewey
I don't
over
understand
Munster.
how you can be, though. Like, when you have Hastings in your team, who has shown that he's so fucking team-focused, he's literally, I'll put any number on my back the coach tells me.
I didn't say I liked him more than Jacko. I just said I was a Dewey fan.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. The thing with Dane Laurie is he's won our Player of the Year 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's an indictment of the quality of play across the squad, particularly this year. Last year, I mean, I think last year it was fairly. I mean, am I wrong in saying it was fairly clear that he was the best player in the
Correct.
Yeah.
in the first grade squad last year? But this year, though, bit of time away.
Yeah.
Yeah, time off the field.
Came on
Plus he had some
strong towards the end of the year. But
he had some
my
really fucking
point
ordinary
is,
games at the
he's
front
obviously
end of
held
the
in
season
high
too.
regard at the club. I don't understand why you wouldn't just lock him in anyway.
Yeah.
Because Munster's not going to play 1. It's fucking ludicrous. Anyway. But that's it. That's what we'll do. We'll ruin, like, the absolute 0.0001% chance that we may have of signing Cam Munster. And lightning fucking strikes and the planets align and we get him and we fuck his career by playing him out of position. Is anything more tigerish than that?
Yeah, fuck.
And can I tell you, just back to the Dally M's, I've just hit the refresh on the live feed, but although Ben Hunt was on top of the leaderboard when they went behind closed doors in round 12, last thing I can see here is like Nico's on 32.
No, you need to refresh again, bro.
No, he's
Yeah,
won.
what is it now?
He's won it.
He's won it. He's over it. Right, there you go. Because he was miles ahead with Teddy coming in second.
Yeah, five votes, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So
What a fucking, like, what a year. And what a milestone for a bloke that came from Melbourne with the question marks over whether he could succeed outside of the Melbourne system, and so many players aren't as successful when they get out of there, and he fucking wins the Dally M.
Although
tip my hat.
there's a bit of Luke Brooks about that.
Oh, wow. Please explain.
Well, who else in the Sharks are you going to give points to?
That's just...
I know a game when Talakai got 3.
He should have got 8.
Exactly, there you go. Like, you can think of one game where someone else in that team did something good. And just looking at the photo, he's an Aldi Michael Hutchins. So, his future involves a belt in a hotel room. So,
wow, someone's salty that Nathan didn't get in Dally M.
Oh, no. I
thought Panthers fans invested their hopes and dreams in fucking Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, I suspect so.
100%.
Who was never sighted near the top at any point, despite
Nathan
the
having
fucking
those 5
media and
weeks
Gronk
off.
fucking wishes.
Hey, I'll tell you what. You ask any fucking player, what do you want, a Dally M or a ring? Premiership winning fullback Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
Soon to be back-to-back premiership winning fullback Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, but there's a touch of Luke Brooks about that, mate.
Yeah.
About what?
Well,
Luke Brooks will never be a back-to-back.
Luke Brooks was fucking Dally M halfback of the fucking year, mate.
Exactly. Under super coach Ivan Cleary.
Because of his coach and the fucking players around him, much like Dylan Edwards.
100%.
He's a less cunty version of Tyrone May.
Think though, how often does one get away from the storm? And I know you can't keep everyone.
There's not a great deal.
Especially in a key position like halves, and still he's behind the Australian incumbent 6 and the New Zealand incumbent 7. So it's not as if they're bums.
Yeah, I mean, you get New Zealand incumbent 7.
Yeah, but there's a sliding doors moment where Melbourne have gone, no, let's put all our eggs in the Pappy basket, and unfortunately that was full of biscuits.
Yep.
So, well done, great season. Fuck yeah.
Yep. Great season. And there you go. And we'll get to the rest of those, I'd say, next week. We can go through in more detail in the team of the year and all that sort of thing. On to the footy. The week 3 of the finals. We kicked off on Friday night up there in Townsville. The Parramatta Eels 24 defeated the North Queensland Cowboys 20. The Eels tries to Penasini, Micah Sivo, and 2-try hero RCG Moses for conversions. And the Cowboys 20 came through tries to Cotter, Leilua, and Taulagi. 2 of 3 conversions to Val and 2 penalty goals.
Big talking point out of this one was obviously the Para's first try, which, given the way the Cowboys started, was definitely against the run of play, not to mention it was off a forward pass that was a good metre to a metre and a half forward. I will say I was impressed with Payton, the way he come out and took the air out of it and said, look, fucking happened earlier in the game, and we certainly had our chances to win, and, which is a fair assessment because the Cowboys were reasonably well in control with 20 minutes to go.
Leading by 8 with 20 minutes to go. And
fell apart. Yeah. Completely fell apart. So,
and also, but I mean, it'd be it would be unseemly for the Cowboys to complain about refereeing after the heinous way that they came to the West Tigers. Not
I know
not
I'm
that many weeks prior.
In that regard, but
yeah,
let's be real.
It's an interesting thing, and it probably goes to just how complex our game is in so many different facets. There are so many parts of it that are so simple. But to actually get to the grand final, let alone win one, you have to be able to play for the entirety of a game, for the entirety of a season, and then for the entirety of a final series. And that last little hurdle, that was just the bridge too far for the Cowboys. Because they were, for a team that has been probably second only to Penrith and maybe late season Roosters in terms of match fitness. Cronulla as well were a very, very fit team. The Cowboys looked gassed very early in this game, and the only thing I can take out of it was that it was the emotion of it.
Yeah, the adrenaline in the moment.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. They weren't able to effectively manage themselves into an 80-minute contest, and that just let the Eels back into the game. And that try that RCG scored, where he just sort of strolled over. Both
of them, they were carbon copy pretty much.
Soft, yeah. That's it. That shouldn't have been scored, by a defensive powerhouse, essentially, let alone in a fucking grand final qualifier.
And the thing is, those tries, both of them, they weren't from this, 6 again era-esque roll, and then everyone was backpedal. I mean, they were set up on their try line, and just for whatever reason, just leaving ridiculous gaps between the markers and the next defenders. And it's fucking unforgivable how easy they were, because he barely got touched on both occasions. So,
unforgivable.
And that was their season. Those 2 tries, that was their season.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it. Look at the socials on those. Hayden, he said, "Suck shit, felt, eat a dick, Cowboys. Well-deserved loss at home. Now it's going to be your excuse, Payton. Didn't go your way tonight. Suck my dick from the back, as you gave away 2 tries in the end to lose it, with 1 try leaving a gaping hole even Pornhub would be jealous of." Jesus Christ, tell me you're a Tigers fan without telling me you're a Tigers fan. Fucking hell. Ryan, excellent result from this Bunnies fans' perspective. If we win tomorrow, we're a better chance of beating the Eels than the Cowboys in the grand final. If the Panthers get through, the Eels are more likely to beat them than the Cowboys. Either way, no Queensland team in the grand final is always good for rugby league. As always, fuck the Broncos. Jesus, fuck. Robert, there you go, real dad. Moses fucked the Cowboys on a questionable call for his Tigpie heritage. Now on to the grand final. Weirdly, I'm more worried about the Bunnies than the Panthers. Well, let's see how that one fucking ages.
Yeah, a lot of these comments look different. Given in the cold light of day after the next game.
And from our brand new Discord channel.
How good is it too?
Which is another social media platform that people can get on and leave comments on. Mutsy, he said, one job, Cowboys. One fucking job. And Josh said, whinges about a forward pass, but forgets they were up 8 points with 30 minutes to go.
Yeah. And also, like, they were rolling, like, that 30-minute, like, they were so far on top, the Eels are going backwards, looked like they had no energy. And then when they turned it, and again, just with this endless stream of offloads, the Cowboys got real. I mean, we said this in the member side, but I mean, the Cowboys, they just got really passive in defence, and they were sort of watching them and waiting for them to come to the line instead of rushing up with that line speed that they showed. And look, yeah, it must have been just because they were fucked, because, I mean, it wasn't a tactical decision.
Yeah, that's it. Girdles, he said, clutch Moses, a missed penalty goal to equalise, and 2 kicks out on the full. It was sort of rocks and diamonds for him.
Yeah, first half wasn't great, but the first half was terrible for that entire side.
That's it.
I mean, it was a terrible first half, and despite the fact that, you know, and I guess that's the only thing you could talk about, that forward pass try. I mean, it got them into the sheds tied up. You know, where after the Cowboys probably couldn't play much better, and they probably couldn't have played much worse.
Exactly.
In a final.
Yeah. Nice. That's
right.
us.
We're moving on. Okay, so the Panthers 32 defeated the Rabbitohs 12 at Accor Stadium. Panthers tries to Appy, Cleary, To'o, Lemieux, and Tungo. 5 conversions to Cleary, penalty goal to Cleary. And the Rabbits tries to Cody Walker and Richie Kenner, with Latrell Mitchell 2 conversions from as many attempts.
I was fucking wrong about this game.
Well, you were half right.
South were in the game.
Yeah, you're half right, Glennie. I mean, like, yeah, take it up to half time, take it to 35 minutes into the game, and it would have been going exactly to your plan and to whatever you predicted. But you know, the Panthers had some, you know, some fortunate and opportune sort of tries to finish off that first half and tie it up, and the Rabbits, I think they just spent. It took so much effort for them to get to that 12-0 position, a great position they were. I think it just deflated them, the fact they ended up going into the sheds tied up.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was all that hard work was for naught. And then after that, the second half, you know, it just basically continued, you know, as it went. I mean, the Rabbitohs are doing so. They did some things that I didn't expect in the first half, or not that they did, but that they achieved. They were actually making like decent meters through the forwards and things, which I never expected to happen. But man, the second half. I mean, I feel like the Panthers pretty much just did the same thing as they did in the first half.
Well, that's what they do.
The Rabbits but the Rabbits were absolutely fucking spent, and. Man, Latrell got found out as in terms of, you know, being a positional fullback. He was caught up in the line and away from where the ball was going a lot.
But I feel it was an uncharacteristically poor performance. As in, sometimes it's been, well, okay, he's a touch late, or geez, he was lucky to get there, but he's always been thereabouts. As in, he's known what to do, or he might have been just a fraction late to decide what to do, but he's always been in the vicinity.
Yep.
There were points in this game where he literally could not be seen.
Yeah.
You know? In terms of what they did, the other thing to remember out of this, though, is that Penrith had, what was it, four tries disallowed in the first half.
Yeah.
So the Rabbits were up 12-0 and you know, would have taken confidence from that. But Penrith were, you know, an obstruction or a knock-on or whatever it was away. That having 4 tries disallowed means that you have had 4 opportunities at the line, and
you're over the line.
That pressure and that defensive work takes its toll. The To'o try was absolutely fucking massive.
Huge.
And that's a really good display, I think, of Cody Walker just making poor decisions in key moments.
Yep.
And when you're the leader in a team, and especially now with Reynolds gone, you need to get those right.
Yeah.
So in that instance, when there's a break, you don't need to steal the ball.
Yep.
You know, and that's where, like, obviously the ghosts of intercepts past have come back to haunt him.
Trying to get one back, you reckon?
Well, you know, he threw one in the grand final last year.
Threw one in the return game at the start of the season.
Yeah, and then this one, all of a sudden, here's a Panthers player with an intercept in their hands. I need to completely turn this back around in our favour, and I'm going to go for the steal, which didn't put him in position to actually make a tackle.
Exactly.
And all he would have had to do is grab him and slow him because help was there.
There were plenty of points of failure in that try.
Yeah.
To your point, though, these big games, come down to a handful of moments, whether it's a missed tackle or a quick play the ball or something like that. With the percentage play in that moment is to fucking do whatever the fuck you need to do to make that tackle.
Yeah, that's it.
And he played 5 seconds of hero ball, and it was a massive point in the game.
And so much so that he became the impediment to his teammates making the tackle. You know, because Cook tripped over him.
Yep.
And then I forget who was coming up in support after Cook, but
there's a bunch
they
of
tripped over
each other
Cook.
at that point. Yeah.
And just fucking absolute Keystone copped it. But
yep.
That was a massive point. But this is that thing with Penrith, you know, and I take it back to that Parramatta game, you know, where Cleary got sent off, and everybody talking about, Parramatta were well in that game. They were up 14-0. Leads like that don't worry Penrith because they're confident in their ability over 80 minutes, and they're confident in their game plan and their execution of that. The guys dug in. They did that thing where they've got an extra gear. You look at what's come out after that game as well, with all of that nonsense around what the Penrith physio.
Well, let's go through one. I mean, the first thing obviously is Tane Milne getting sent off for the swinging arm on Lemieux.
Yeah, that was fucked.
That was fucked. And they had a little bit of a set too on the way out to the sideline, and there was like shades of the old Battle of Brookie sort of going to spill it out on the sideline situation. But man, I mean, no problem with that. Had to go. 100%. Obviously, jumping, swinging, fucking arm. I mean, straight out of the WWE.
Yeah,
got to go. But yeah, so go on with your physio thing with Jed Cartwright.
Well, the bunnies allege that there was a sledge, essentially with him telling players or instructing players to attack Jed's back because he had inside knowledge of a back injury that he treated.
Yeah, back in the day or whatever.
When he played for Penrith, Jed obviously, son of Panthers great, and terrible coach John.
Yep.
But and Cody Walker has gone the physio after the game.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it's since come out that like Penrith actually have recordings of everything that was said during the game.
But it's equally as valid as the South stuff though. I mean, they're all full of shit because Panthers have come out and said, oh no, Jed Cartwright, smashed Dylan Edwards in a tackle, and he said, oh, you've got to give him that one, Dylan, or something like that. Yeah, but they say, but the thing about Penrith is they say that's what was said, but they're like, but no, we're not going to give you any of the. We're not going to let you listen to the tapes of it.
No, fuck.
We got it recorded, but we're not going to show you.
No, well, why should they though?
Well, I mean, it'd fucking clear it up really quick. Yeah, end it completely straight away, immediately.
At what point? What's the
make South look and make South look like the dickheads?
No, we just move on. This is what happened. Move on. We don't care.
That is fucking bullshit.
If the NRL want to come and
investigate by bringing up the tape thing, they're not though. I mean,
100%. We've got it on film. We've got you on film.
Yeah.
We've got you on film.
Yeah, they do. They just need to find time. They need to find time to fucking accidentally delete it.
Which comedian was that? It was like talking about how like there was that stage in the 80s where like every black guy just admitted to a crime the minute the cop was like, we've got you on tape. It's like, oh no. But the point that got to me out of that was that Dylan Walker would have been fucking stewing on that moment.
Cody.
Cody.
Dylan Walker's in Bali, or he's fucking setting up his new flat in fucking Auckland.
Cody Walker would have been stewing on that all game, from when it happened, to hold on to that, to going him after the full-time siren for saying something.
Yes.
That, like, to hold on to that within you.
But why is that the thing you're going after the game?
Exactly. But
like
also, how much of your focus has that taken off you?
Yeah.
When did
the comment? When did that tackle on Dylan Edwards actually happen? I don't remember when it happened.
I don't think it was near the end of the game.
Oh, really? So okay, so he was hanging on to it for a while. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, looking at that, to the Rabbits' credit, they got to one game short of the grand final with essentially a first-year half, with
fullback out for half the year.
Their best player, who by nature is not the fittest of players.
Yep.
Doesn't have a full season worth of fitness under his belt, and has just come back from rehabbing a major injury. And so it's not that he was just unfit, it was just the fact that he was unable to be fit. That's a very good result for them, I think.
I still don't think that South are winning the comp with Cody Walker. If they couldn't win it with Reynolds in the halves with him, I don't see him winning it with Ilias and Walker. I just don't.
Can I say I can see them winning a comp with Cody Walker. I can't see them winning a comp with Cody Walker needing to play a leadership role.
Yeah, okay. So what string is Cody Walker if they win a comp? Third? Fourth?
I can see him playing six.
No. Yeah, but, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But he needs a Reynolds.
Yeah.
He needs a Cook.
He needs a full season of Latrell. And he needs Cook to play a full season healthy and firing, and he needs someone that's not Lachlan Ilias.
And he needs Cook to find his voice.
Mm.
He needs Cook to be the general out there, and he needs whoever's the 7 to be the organizer. And then Latrell just to do Latrell shit, and put in fucking no look grubber kicks and palm off 47 people and score Greg Inglis style tries.
Yeah,
but and Penrith did what every rugby league fan wants to happen and kick Souths out of the comp for another year. So, fuck you, Russell Crowe.
Wow.
Right, so you got some socials on that one, I guess.
Oh yeah, sure.
We went the long way around, but yeah.
Certainly did. Girdles. He said, "Welcome to the Who Wants Me to Support Them in the Grand Final game." Phil. He said, "A tactic I've noticed the Panthers using recently is holding back the kicker when they get pressure on them. Not necessarily taking them to ground, but definitely grabbing them and not letting them participate in the chase."
Yeah, I don't think it's just the Panthers.
No, I don't think it is either. Here we are. Jimmy, he said, 2 pretty lucky tries. Souths need to get out of the grind. There we go. Oh, and here we have Ned copying a picture that was posted by Sportsbet and cropping all Sportsbet out of the picture and trying to claim it as his own with Brian Toto's face on a bulldozer. There we go. Fooling absolutely no one, Ned. Jangles, I for one congratulate Penrith on back-to-back premierships. # King of Nothing. Started already. Our friend Action Bailey, he said, "We didn't get an ounce of luck. Tane Mill tried to murder our players and we still dicked the pretenders like they owed us rent. Suck my dick from the back. Go the mighty Panthers. Your next para." Nice.
Love it.
The Laughing Gnome through emojis only said, "Kick ratbag." Nathan.
Also, shout out to Laughing Gnome. John is the guy who initially set up the Discord as well. And so thank you very much, sir. Your service is very much appreciated. And it's starting to kick off in there too, which is great. Like, you know, we're seeing, like, you see the online. I mean, you're seeing like a bunch of guys and a bunch of members on there at any given time, and usually one of the hosts. So get in there. Go to thisweekinleague.com/links, and the top one there, which is a new and improved link to the Discord, which is set to never expire. So that's the best way to go.
Nice.
And yeah, get amongst it.
Dengate, he said, 32 unanswered points. Bow down, cunts. Yes, I can say cunts here. Fuck the Eels and fuck Zuckerberg too. How good. We're done.
All right. Okay, so then we move on to, of course, the grand final day. And the main one. Well, you know what? Did you guys happen to see the women's semi-finals on the weekend?
I missed it.
Because I actually did. And the NRLW grand final, the Newcastle Knights take on the Eels. So the Eels there in 2 grades, as they say. And the Eels side to get into the grand final. I mean, it does sort of illustrate the fact that obviously the women's competition needs to grow, and in terms of number of teams and in terms of number of rounds that they play, because the Eel side was winless before the last round, and so they had to win by a certain amount to get themselves into 4th place, which they did, and that was, I think, over the Bronx. And then they were taking on, you know, the defending champions Roosters. Mm-hmm. got the win there, like fucking dominated them. And yeah, they'll be meeting the Newcastle Knights, and in the women's final. So Newcastle Knights, of course, led by absolute fucking machine in Millie Boyle, and of course Caitlin Moran as well is in the 18th jersey. Will she crack the squad for the big game and celebrate the dead fucking dog on grand final day? You know, remains to be seen.
Run out with a crown.
But look, this is the only time I'll ever support Newcastle Knights in anything, because fuck the Eels no matter what they do in whichever fucking form of the game they play. And I would love nothing more than to see them lose both grades on the day. The main event of the evening, the Panthers take on the Eels. Ashley Klein, the fucking referee, which as a rugby league fan makes me fucking sick to my stomach. But
how the fuck?
But as a chaos connoisseur, I fucking love it, because you know that guy can decide a fucking game.
Yeah.
Grant Atkins in the video referee box. So I guess at least as long
some
as
logic might be applied.
Yeah, as long as things are referred.
Yeah.
Then there might be some logic applied. But yeah, Ashley Clark. I mean the fucking the way the NRL powers that be delude themselves that this man is the best referee in the game and therefore should be given the job in the middle for the biggest fucking game of the year. It's absolutely mind-blowing. So, look, I mean, and whether players can, take advantage of that. I mean, because you definitely saw the way he refereed differently this past week gone than the one before. I mean, we had that fucking chaos war with the Rabbits and East, where he lost control and was binning everybody. He was loath to bin anybody in the next game.
Exactly.
So, what does that carry through the grand final? Probably. I mean, grand finals aren't Origin, but there, I think there is that aspect where, a referee would probably need to be pushed pretty damn far, or have incontrovertible, like a Tane Milne sort of situation where it's undeniable, before he use the sin bin or send off. The Panthers side, Charlie Staines remains on the wing. Taylor May has failed to overcome his karma injury to his hamstring, and he won't be playing in the big game. Kenny starts on the bench. Appy named starting hooker, and frankly, that was the only fucking reason the Rabbits had such a fucking dominant period in that game, because it wasn't just the fortunate tries that they scored in the last couple of minutes of the first half. It was also when fucking Appy came on, and scoring their first try. I don't know what fucking universe, unless it was literally resting him for 30 minutes to give him 30 minutes more rest. The universe in which Mitch Kenny starts a fucking game, I don't understand it, and it's and it's almost the dumbest fucking coaching decision I think that Ivan Cleary's ever made after the initial contract signing with the West Tigers.
Fucking hell, drive by, motherfucker.
Well, okay, so tell me, like, if you see one guy, right, and he's training and he's just doing sprints up and down the field, and then you see another guy who's doing sprints up and down the field with a rope around his waist and a fucking tractor tyre on the end of it, who's working harder? Ivan Cleary essentially has to fucking hamstring the Panthers so that it doesn't turn into a fucking AFL grand final.
Fuck, we've waited all these many years to resurrect Tyre on a fucking rope.
That's it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to make a point. Sorry. I apologise, I left the fucking air clear.
No, he's resistance training his team.
The Eel side. Opacek is in the reserves after dropping out through injury last week. Simonson plays in his second grand final after previously representing the Raiders in 2019. And the big talking point, I suppose, in terms of selections for the Eels is that now, finally, on the biggest day of the year, Nathan Brown returns to first grade and replaces Bryce Cartwright on the bench.
What could possibly go wrong?
Do you think is this like Nathan Brown hasn't played all year, he's been out of favour, let's bring him on to do a job? And when I say do a job, I mean
who's reliable and trustworthy in our top 30?
Yeah, but I mean who's reliable and trustworthy to take a player out or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's Terry Lambing it.
Yeah,
Nathan Cleary, look out. You'll be the Ellery Hanley.
Somebody, yeah, exactly. And look, grand finals are your times to bring on legitimate hard men. But I mean, Nathan Brown, as we've seen, I mean, he's a little bit of a paper champ when it comes to that sort of thing. Otherwise,
hang on, he's been playing Reggie's. Hasn't it been like 4 weeks since he's had a boot on?
That I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't care enough.
But I don't. Look, maybe it's a morale booster. Maybe he gets on well enough with enough of the guys in the team. Who knows? The thing that I do find odd though is that he's brought him back, and he's still leaving his son on the bench as well.
Yeah, when I first saw the news that Nathan Brown was back in the side, I was like, okay, he's finally, wants to make use of that bench spot, and he wants to put a big body on there because, it's going to be a defensive game and the forwards are going to be expending a lot of energy. Yeah. You might need another guy in the rotation. No. You just play some Bryce, and I mean, he does. I mean, let's face it, he does probably have better defense and more size to him than Bryce does. So I get it from that perspective. But again, this Jacob Arthur selection, he's there in case Mitchell Moses gets knocked out.
Yeah,
but except he doesn't do anything good and is the weak link when that happens. And all evidence in the past is that Dylan Brown has his best games when he doesn't have to defer to Mitchell Moses.
Yeah. I put it to you that the Parramatta Eels would be better served if Mitchell Moses was to unfortunately be injured or maimed or murdered on the field and have to come off, that they would be better not replacing him at all.
Yes.
Than replacing him with Jacob Arthur.
Correct.
Yeah,
that is the right take.
I'm not gonna shit on Jacob Arthur like the way that his own fan base did. To in that period after Origin where he was getting booed by his own fans. But his selection is puzzling because
I just feel like it's a big call, and
his utility value is unclear, especially in a grand final.
It's a kind of a position to be proven for the fan base to be proven right about Jacob Arthur. Just saying, it's a grand final.
But the other thing is, how do you utilise him if Moses isn't knocked out? If Moses isn't knocked out, you essentially have the world's tiniest fucking lock.
And why are you assuming that Moses is going to be maimed to such a point where he can no longer participate in the match for an extended period of time?
Well, it happened in... He had to go off for an HIA a couple of times. Maybe this is his thing, that Mitch has had enough head knocks that any head knock now is going to require an HIA. So maybe he's just... Well, fuck, I'm going to need him for at least 10 minutes a game, and that's good enough for me.
Look, I mean, sometimes...
They were able to hang on when he went off last week.
I think the simplest answers are often are often the most correct answers, and maybe it's just he wants to have a fucking moment where he wins a grand final with his son,
with his kid.
Like, I would, it's not my place to speculate that a coach would be so unprofessional as to let his desire for that.
I think it's a better story to see. I think it's a better story for Brad and Jacob to win a grand final together than it ever was for Ivan and Nathan.
Why? Because that story would also include a flesh-eating virus that ate the entire Panthers squad before the game.
There was a period of time where I was like, these cunts are just going to let that go. They're going to let it go through the keeper and they're going to move on. I was like, these motherfuckers. Good times.
So I guess. Look. We know what Jay thinks about who's going to win, and I mean, let's face it. I mean, if the Panthers lose, it will be the biggest choke in the history of grand finals. I'm struggling to think of another final where a team is so heavily the favourite, and look, honestly, the Parramatta Eels cannot win this fucking game unless there is some sort of chaotic level of fuckery perpetrated by Ashley Klein.
Yeah.
Like it took the Bulldogs back in the 90s against Manly. They're going to need a forward pass try. They're going to need a 7-tackle set try. They're going to need all of that shit pulled out of the kit bag.
They're going to need all of that, plus
1995 Glennie,
some of the fuckery that went on against Penrith in the first half of last week.
Yeah. No, I knew exactly what you were talking about, Nathan. I just didn't care.
You had this puzzled look on your face.
No, it was like, when is this cunt going to shut up? Nothing puzzled about it.
Oh God, I wish you were the one that was cancelling this weekend.
I'm sad that I'm not.
You fucking will be. Yeah. Believe me.
You will be. You will be.
Fucking bring it on, cunt. They're all fucking talk.
Glenn doesn't get that reference though.
Nate 0.5. I can fucking handle that, cunt.
I'll be 0.05. Fucking sober as a judge.
We're not fucking 17 in ads anymore. It's not like, let's get fucking smashed, bro.
No,
I'm so wasted, bro.
Yeah, to be fair, we were like that 3 years ago, though.
I know.
Yeah. So, what were you saying?
And I've never set foot in airs. Yeah. So we don't need to hear from you on the potential result. Glennie, who you got?
I think Penrith win.
Any bold predictions for what happens through the game in terms of like margin or happenings?
I think they'll win 13 plus, and I think Cleary will be the Clive Churchill. I just think that the moment's too big for Para, and I think the moment's too big for Mitchell Moses, and maybe he's the epitome of someone that has to lose one to win one. I don't think he gets the job done first time up.
Yeah, and if you look at Para,
first and last time up, Glennie.
They played.
Let's hope so.
They played and beat the team that scraped into 8th. On the fortunes of other teams in Canberra. Then they played the team that were young. And Parramatta have made the finals. What is it, every year for the last 8 years? Given they've gone out first week or second week, but they've made the finals. And they played the team that hadn't for a good number of years and almost finished last year. They're also playing a team that fucking thumped them week 1.
Yep.
So there's been... I fucking hope as well that every single fucking bomb goes to Wanga Blake from the first set of that fucking game.
Of course it will.
Every single one.
Of course it will, because they're well coached and they're well drilled, and you watched it happen.
And particularly they actually set up their last tackle options.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem with the Cowboys. I mean, they were rushed on so many last tackle options that they couldn't actually set up for fucking raining on Wanga Blake.
That's it. So, Oh, look, here's the thing. Penrith can, okay, this is the game plan. Let's execute it no matter what's going on. But, yeah, fuck, I'd love to see that.
Yep. Yep. All right. So, look, I mean, you would be fucking crazy to predict anything other than a Panthers win.
But, you know what? This is how fucking great stories happen. So, Para fans, you've still got a chance.
Yeah. Look, I think the Eels are going home 0-2 from grand final appearances on this day. I have to say. And
you know what? I'd also take. Fuck, I'd be so happy if it comes out, and I'd even take being stripped of the title if Penrith are over the cap. Like, and they find out in 3 years' time.
Honestly, the way the style of play that the Panthers have at the moment, I don't think it's a cap situation. I think it'd be like some sort of fucking roids or fucking some sort of peptide situation. That's what it would be more likely than a cap thing, I think. Because because with the cap thing, I mean that the vast majority of these guys will come up through the system and everything. So there's a chance that they're taking unders to play with their mates and blah blah blah. But they're all imported, But but yeah, in fact, that would almost make it extra worthwhile.
I'd cop that.
To not only win on the day, but to rob them of because look, I know as well as anyone, they aren't giving those premierships to the team that got robbed by the cheating team. I mean, it doesn't happen. I've been waiting for it to happen for 2007. It ain't gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
I love it.
But yeah, a lot of pressure. I mean, far more pressure on the Panthers, of course. I mean, while there is that expectation of the fan base and, the 30-odd years or whatever with the Parramatta Eels side of things, I mean, the Panthers, best team all year. And, for them to lose, especially to, like, a team consisting of big game players like Moses and Gutho, if they were to lose, fucking embarrassing.
Yep.
Very, very embarrassing. And that alone should be motivation for them to win and win quite easily.
Yeah, spot on.
All right. What else do we have to talk about, boys? I have the final leaderboard for the Dally M in front of me now, and Nico finished on 38, beating Tedesco in 33, Ben Hunt on 32. Big gaps back to other players. There was a bit of a group of players around there within a couple of points of each other, such as Dylan Edwards, Scott Drinkwater, Mitchell Moses, Daly Cherry Evans, finishing ahead of Isaiah Yeo, Cameron Munster, and Harry Grant, despite losing the last 7 games. Outstanding work there, Ches. Now, and that's a solid total from Nico Hines as well. Anything else that we need to cover off, fellas?
No, we're good.
In terms of meetups and everything, for the members meetups, the information for those meetups is in Patreon. If you're a patron, log in your dashboard. Both meetups full details are in there already. If you bought a supporters pack, email's gone out with full details of the Saturday night meetup for you guys as well, and both in Facebook and in the Discord, the information about the meetup at 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon at Bar Cleveland.
Yep,
everyone welcome. Can't wait to see you all, and interested to see how what sort of numbers we get, following this COVID enforced break. But in any case, looking forward to catch up with people that we haven't seen in far too long, and so that would be awesome. And that's it. That's 490. What is it? 496. 496. So I guess the list rate. I'm just thinking now. We're probably going to kick off next season at 500.
Wow.
I reckon it'll be.
Fuck.
There was like a timeline where we finished 500 as the last episode of this season, but then I think we merged eps together because
went Monday to Wednesday. That's it.
Yeah. I bet we did it earlier than we expected as well. I think we missed the Monday and just said fuck it, we'll squish it together.
Yeah,
and
spot on.
So which I actually prefer if we start next season on 500 because it gives us time to actually fucking think about it. And rather than having it in like 3 weeks' time or something, we can actually think about it and see if we're going to do something about that. But yeah, that's it. That's full time for 496. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, if you'd like to support the show, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TWiL Nation. And of course, patrons entitled to a meetup on Saturday night before the grand final day.
Yeah.
And our top tier patrons have got a meetup on the Sunday as well, prior to the time of the all comers. What's it called? What's it called? The no
loads refused.
No loads refused. Pimped out cum dump event. That'll happen at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And that's it. I got nothing else. Can't wait to get down there and see all you guys. We'll be flying down. It was a great news, Glennie. I got a message from the Airbnb last night. Mm-hmm. And he said, just wanted to let you know, just wanted to get a check on the final numbers of guests so we can make sure it's all ready for you. And just wanted to let you know that we've got an inflatable spa and a table tennis table there too. If you'd like to use that, feel free. And one other thing I forgot to tell you, but in the backyard we have 2 pet rabbits that roam free. And so if you got a problem with that, let me know and we'll make sure they're not there. Otherwise, there's nothing you need to do. They just run for it. And I'm just like, fuck, that's probably the thing I'm most excited about in the weekend, to be honest.
I'll tell you.
We can't have pet rabbits up here. So
what are you going to do to the rabbits?
Nothing to the rabbits.
Tell me about the rabbits. Tell me about the rabbits.
If you pass out, they're going to spray paint your dick orange and your pubes green and let them go Bugs Bunny.
They'll be like, there ain't enough carrot there, I'm not interested. I want a meal, not a snack. That carrot looks like it's already been eaten.
So yeah, let's get excited and little bunny Cody and little bunny Latrell. We're gonna see if fucking rabbits can get high this weekend.
And if anyone's got the stones to challenge me at table tennis, fucking good luck, cunts, because I will destroy everyone.
You fancy yourself as a table tennis player? I don't even know if I've
I'm just an elite athlete. I'm an elite athlete, and that was pointed out. Just want to give a quick shout out to as it turns out, a woman listener who sought me out at presentation. Well, didn't really seek me out. He was found out at presentation night on Saturday night for the touch football.
As you were there to collect your Corey Patterson, what the fuck is that fat cunt doing on the wing award?
Yeah. I unfortunately took home no awards.
That's a shame.
My son did take out the male rookie of the year for Lions Senior Touch Club, so that was a pretty fucking special moment. But Sam, I don't know Sam's last name, Sam with the beard, having a chat to my best mate Bradley, and had said that is that Glenn? It's like, yeah, he's the guy that does the podcast. Yeah, that's him. It's like, yeah, I knew it was him. I've been listening for a few years, and he's talking about playing touch football, and then he played up. He actually plays D grade. Don't know why he plays D grade. I should be playing D grade. He should be playing C grade. Anyway, he played up in C grade, and everyone's shouting my name. Probably, hey, Glenn, get off the field. Glenn, why are you laying down? Glenn, can you please move? Glenn, go and fetch our water and oranges, etc. So he worked out that I was Glenn, and put 2 and 2 together. Big fan of the show. Has been listening for a few years, so was very polite, but was probably one of those guys like, who the fuck is this new cunt that's come back to the fucking show? He's a piece of shit. I like this.
So he's one of the stepdad is my real dad.
No, he did. People. He did say, he goes, geez, it's kind of evened out a little bit. Like, like it's changed a bit. There was a fair bit there with some of the stories that were getting told. It was just like, holy fuck. But no, he's a great guy. Very, very good touch player. Should not be playing D grade. And Sam, if you're listening, which you said you would be, get some fucking stones about you and step up into C grade and give me a break, cunt. I'm going to fucking die out there on the field. Fucking help a brother out.
Stop it.
Get up there and take Glenn's dreams.
This guy's out there living his best fucking Luke Brooks life. Being a Dally M winner every week. Every fucking week in D grade. And you want to ruin his hopes and dreams.
Love it. Love it.
Jesus Christ. Don't listen to him. Stay in that warm little bubble, be coached by Ivan forever.
Fuck. Jeez, you turned that around nicely.
All right. So on that note,
all right, done.
We'll, see you fuckers on the weekend.
Boys. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes, we will. Although...
Talking to the listeners.
You're going to drag out the ending any longer, Glennie? Just say see you, cunt.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to say that I've got to fucking spend an entire weekend with you, Nathan.
You don't have to spend the entire weekend with me.
So don't. Nate can stay. You can go and deal with all the fucking listeners yourself.
Fuck. Again, you've turned that around really nicely. Righto, fuck yous. See ya.
Right, see ya.